We're going to be live for 30 seconds while everyone watch the intro.
Sweet. All right, cool. There's a little legwork on my part for that, but that's okay. All right, welcome to Talk About Paint Club. I'm your first week of December installation. I am your host, Rick Strohmeyer, and I am officially declaring for the seat of Senate in Minnesota. And we are also joined with
his co-host from the East Coast. Sorry, I did that like 10 seconds ago and it was way funnier. And now it's not so much. Matt had this.
That's all right. So
I declare no seats. I say nay to running for politics, but I will be your political advisor if you'd like to know.
Cool. There's a tip of the week for that too. So yeah. All right. So
what, how to run plus?
Yeah, there's always some fucking reason. As transparent as it can be. All right. So welcome to the first week of December, 2022. Here we are, post decon, and we are trying a new format out tonight, and I hope it's enjoyable. Yeah. So, new format, new operating system. Yeah, Nicole and I tried it out earlier today, and we're still working out some of the bugs. So, yeah, thanks for taking this voyage along with us. So, we are a week away from. We are a week after the Decon event for this year, DesignerCon 2022. So, Nicole and I will have some feedback or reviews of what we did, what we saw there, along with just the way the show normally runs. Along the way, we also have last month's color of the month to show off anything that we painted on there, and Nicole will be spinning the wheel of color for December's color of the month. The most important thing of the night right now is Choleta. What are you drinking tonight?
Okay, so my ass forgot to take this out of the freezer last night, and it's still frozen from this morning. So it's like a slushy iced tea. I don't know. I don't know what to. I should have put vodka in it. That would have been a pretty good drink. But I don't have any straight vodka, so it's just tea.
There you go.
Slush tea.
Oh, I have. Oh shit! And this is the day I have
the so cold.
Betray me. All right, so we got Cock and Bull's cherry ginger beer. And damn, that twist off was hard.
Cock and Bulls.
And it's really delightful. Holy shit!
Sorry.
I've had their other product. It's like their regular ginger beer, which is really sweet, but still has like a shit ton of ginger bitterness. And yeah, this is like cherry, ginger, and cherry and ginger had a baby and launched it all the way down.
Is it good? I don't really like ginger, so I'm gonna go by you.
It's really strong, and like Alicia came home with the. Imagine this: Alicia came home with a cold, but not COVID, and I've had nothing but sinus drainage for a week. So, yeah. So the ginger's a little sharp on the back of the throat, but it's still really yummy.
Hold on, I have to throw something at my cat. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay, continue. I didn't throw anything at her. I just scared her.
Yeah, we don't throw things at animals unless they need it, want it,
No.
play with. Here, hang on.
I was just say, if anything, I would throw her own toy at her just to get like distract her, but I didn't have anything, so I just like tapped on the table, and she like looked at me like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Am I distracting your podcast?" Yeah.
There you go. All right, so we had, like I said, we had Designer Con this past week, which is, I guess, 2 weeks ago. Because last week was Thanksgiving. Anyway, 2 weeks ago. And so let's see, where should we start? How about the best thing you ate while you were at DCon?
The meal with you.
Oh.
The meal that I had with you and Aaron and Bean. Yeah, absolutely. Hands down. Hands fucking down. I will very much do this because I as much as Rick picks on me and so does Aaron and all that shit because they're like my brothers. Like I picked a restaurant that when we all sat down and we started eating, everyone was like, "This is really good," and I was just like. And like I loved how when we were driving there because I said it was close, you were like, "This isn't close," and I'm like, "I know, I'm so sorry." It's because like on GPS, it's like for Uber, it was like, "Oh, $15. It's only like a mile and a half," and I was like, "Shit, that man on the highway, and the highway has traffic and all that." But like honestly, best Korean barbecue I ever had, always is, and like it for me. It was probably the best I had, like, because we were all just shooting the shit and having so much fun, like, on top of eating a good meal. So like even I like to think of like that together. Like I can have some great ass food, but like if the company is crap, like I don't know, it kind of like ruins it like for me. But like I've had great meals in LA. I shouldn't even act like that, but I love this time especially because like I didn't have my ID and Bianca's sitting there making fun of me going, no, you're a baby, you cannot have this wine. And I'm just like, dear God, I'm way older than she is. Like this is so funny. It was just nice to like just have like a nice after the show, like sit down and chill.
I'm
even
pretty
though
certain
Rick
I've
told
been
us
able to
his
drink longer
his hotel was around the
Dean's been
block.
alive.
Probably. This guy over here is like, my hotel is around the corner, and the GPS walk had us going like, it didn't have us cut through the convention like courtyard or whatever. It had us go around.
But I was
and we
right.
didn't know that you could cut through the convention. Yeah, no shit. But I'm just saying, like, so that's where making fun of me started because it was like, are you sure this is correct? I'm like, it literally is saying to go this direction. Then I'm like, what? Somebody else tell me what to do so I'm not the asshole. God. What was the best meal you had?
Well, I have two, but I'm going to go with the Korean barbecue as well. I didn't want to have, I was like, oh yeah, that was really good. And I'm trying to like go through the Rolodex of my brain and be like, what else was really good? I'm like, well, it was a pretty good experience all around because it was like, the food was really good. I didn't, nobody had to worry about cooking it. It was really nice with all the cold dishes along with the hot meat. The company was really nice too. Like you, Bean, and Aaron, we're all in a thank God it's over type mode. Like there's just like it always sounds like it's a burden after an event. You're like, oh my gosh, we were here, and like, but it's like no, it's like it's the end of the climax, and you're in resolution, and you're just like you're cuddling, like oh. That was pretty good, right? So, yeah, was like
Yeah,
the
you kind of
post-play.
are kicked back, relaxing, like,
It was like having a breakfast with eye contact. It was pretty nice. So
I love how when we were eating, like, when I'm like, oh, do it like this, or like, why? I don't know.
all right. So next on the list is best drink you had there or at the event, like, alcoholic or not. Best beverage consumed.
Ooh, at the plastic pizza event, I had this elderflower cocktail. I don't know what it was. It was like it had like, did it have prosecco? I don't remember, but it was some elderflower something something something, and it was fucking delicious. And it had vodka, and if it has vodka, I will usually drink it. Um, yeah, that drink, that one.
Very good.
I can never remember. I can't remember the name of the restaurant because all I could hear is Bean in my head going bippity boopity boop boop because the name was something so stupid and like not stupid, but like so like easy to call it like something like that. And it was just like, oh man, I have no idea what the hell the name of this restaurant's called now. It's like Bippities. It's called like Bipdi Zippity. I don't know. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to Google it, and once I say it, I'm gonna not be able to stop laughing at myself.
Bean, say the drink in chat. Take advantage of the chat.
I can't. I gotta. Okay, whatever. What was your favorite restaurant? Your favorite restaurant? What was your favorite food?
So Alicia and I on after on Thursday of setup, Thursday of setup, we ended up at this 50s diner, which would have been my favorite place to go if it wasn't for the Korean barbecue. So we ended up at this 50s diner, and their milkshakes were amazing, and it was quite pleasant to be able to sit down after a day's drive from Vegas to Anaheim with Alicia, and it was nice to be like after getting everything all set up because all the issues of unloading and loading and unloading and loading, getting shit from the hotel to the truck, getting it into the facility and everything, and nothing, just like sitting back with with Alicia and being able to be like, all right, you get to see how the storm starts. And I had a chicken sandwich, she had a hamburger, and it was a really good chicken sandwich. But the milkshakes were top notch. In this place, it looked like a 50s diner. The people dressed like it. The music was of the time, and it was really nice.
As much as I love you, I was very excited to see Alicia.
Well, me too. So, like, you didn't hear this part of it.
I was like, oh, nice to see you, Alicia.
So, the plan was that she flew in Vegas because it was cheaper to fly into Vegas than Anaheim, and it would have taken her just as much time to drive from LAX to Anaheim as it would to drive from Las Vegas to Anaheim. So it was very close.
Really?
Yeah. No. I am kind of being a sarcastic turd about this part, but 4 hours to LAX to Anaheim now seems not unrealistic. So
yeah,
the plan was right. It's asinine. So the plan was for Vegas, drive there, and she can do everything that she would want to do in Anaheim while I slaved at the convention. So mission accomplished for that term, for that part. And then she was going to fly out on Sunday night to go get the dogs and give her folks a reprieve from the dogs, and she would have a few days to recover on her own before I got there on Wednesday, and then we go up and spend Thanksgiving Thursday to Sunday at her folks. Well, she missed her flight. So, and I'm not laughing, but I'm laughing, right? Because I'm a jackass. But she missed her flight by like 3 minutes. They closed the door on her 3 minutes beforehand, and they wouldn't open it up. And no, I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of her carrier, but yeah. So she missed it. So she calls me.
I do.
It was not. It was not Spirit. So she calls me at like 12:30, and I am of no shape to drive, and just asks if she can ride home with me. So like, of course you can.
No, Lisa.
So as opposed to having just a minimum 4-hour drive time, and the way I'm painting the picture about the labors of driving, it's all on me, because I will talk and talk some more in a car. So on the Vegas to Anaheim leg, I was very much like, we're going to be listening to something. We'll be doing this. We might have a little conversation, but I do not want to drive her nuts with all my hours and hours of rambling. And mission accomplished. And then it was like, I cannot say no to her. So I was like, of course you can drive home with me. Mm-hmm. And, it was very pleasant. And like, we listened to a bunch of audio books and podcasts and stuff. And it was just like, all right, well, this is kind of the way I would go if I were doing this alone. But if any road trip, anybody who's ever taken a road trip with me knows that I will have stories and shit to talk about from the moment we start to the time we stop. No question about it. I'm just like that old man on a country fucking porch. Sit a while, or I'm the Deckard Cain of road trips, and that's fine.
You and my dad would be best friends.
So yeah. So and like my route changed because of having an extra. So because of Alicia coming, which is no problem whatsoever. It was just like, oh, we're going, instead of going through New Mexico, through like Arizona, New Mexico on up, we just try to make it as straight as possible to go through Las Vegas, Utah, because Las Vegas is its own state, Nevada, Utah, Colorado. And so like the week when I was coming, I avoided that route because it was crazy weather.
Las Vegas isn't even the fucking like capital.
So like on the way going to the event, that route was not an option at least for weather reasons. It was pretty shitty, but it had cleared up and everything was really nice. Utah is really pretty to drive through, by the way. Like if you've never done it, everybody should drive through it once. Just make sure it's daytime when you start, so you can see all the cool land formations, and you stop someplace where you can have a beer at the end, because yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it was really pretty. And Colorado, we went through Colorado, and it was weird. Like, I love driving through the mountains. So really pretty. And yeah, we ended up stopping the first night somewhere in Utah. We got a little bit of a late start, but that whatever. So somewhere in Utah and somewhere in Nebraska, and then we were home 9 hours later, but we were both fucking tired. And like the first thing that Alicia did in the morning before I even thought about like opening my eyes, was she was calling her mom to let her know that she missed her flight and that she'll need to watch the dogs for a couple more
was
days.
Her mom supposed to pick her up?
Yeah. No. Excuse me. Her folks live a couple hours away from us, but it was just like, I hope they'll be okay with watching the dogs a couple extra days, and they were fine with it. So it all worked out. But it was pretty like, ooh, this was not a hiccup I was calculating. I was like, oh, there was plenty of room in the truck
Oopsies.
for her and her stuff, and like, whatever crap I just brought to the convention that wasn't toys.
What would you have done if you didn't have room for her? Like,
I would
oh
probably
my
have
god,
mailed
could you
shit back.
imagine if you're just like,
So yes,
oh,
so
that, well, yeah,
triage would
that'd
have
be
been
fair.
like this. All right, toys still. So my truck has a back is a king cab, so it has a full back seat. So toys still would have been in the back, but like all those IKEA crates, those would have been like chucked out or given away or abandoned, just depending on. So like there was triage in my mind, like, well, what if? But like we had kind of packed for this because she gave me I brought her luggage with me, which wasn't much, but it was like, why
Oh,
pay for
okay.
a bag at all? Like I'm going to be there, you're going to be
Yeah.
with your, like you'll never be at a moment where you need your suitcase. So like I when we all just put all our crap in one big waterproof suitcase anyway, so it was always within reach, but that went in the back of the truck because yeah. And so like we didn't have any rain, or we had a little bit of snow one morning, but fucking nothing. Um, I saw more yesterday in the blink of an eye than what we encountered all and drive, but whatever. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. You're a madman for doing the drive rig. Dude, road trips are fun. They're not as like
Rick
I,
loves to drive. Are you
I
kidding
do.
me?
Like there were two instances where like the in the past
Rick
5
Stars his
years
best
where
friend,
I
actually.
kind of lost my love of driving at night, but um yeah,
Because
I
you're
do
getting
love driving road
old.
trips. Like I had a Fox about 5 years ago, and that was like it was weird because it's like who the hell hits a Fox? Well, I do. And like when I went to go look at I pulled over almost, like within a few minutes of hitting it to see like what damage it did to my truck. And I couldn't find any damage, and I couldn't find evidence of the Fox anywhere, but I know I hit it. Um, and that was a little depressing, but the mountain lion scared the hell out of me. And I was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like all of a sudden, like I'm driving down the road and like, it's night, and all of a sudden I look over and there's this fucking mountain lion. Like you see like in the nature shows where you see the reflection of the eyes, and I saw those and I was like, oh, that's really low to be a deer, and it wasn't. So like once I got parallel to the thing and it looks up, I'm like, oh, and it just scared the shit out of me. Like like if you hit it,
Yeah.
like, well, if I hit it, yeah, I have to pull over and call it in. But I'm like, I'm not getting out of my truck after I hit the damn thing. So I'm not like,
Hell no.
no,
Fuck
no way,
that.
that's a murder machine. So yeah, so mountain lion and a fox just
Oh,
basically said
jeez.
like, nighttime driving might not be for you anymore. Now I got like I'll push my limits sometimes, but like I've been known to drive 18 hours at a time, but
You know I love my road trips too, and like I used to leave always when I would go upstate New York at fucking like 6 p.m. or
hmm,
7 p.m. And I was like, hell yeah, like nobody's on the road. It's great. And then my eyes didn't get bad because I could still see like very well, but my eyes started not being able to handle light. So like realistically, like right now I should be wearing my glasses. Yes. Yes, everyone, I have fucking glasses. But they're blue light glasses. There's no prescription on them, nothing. So it's so hard to even get like decent ones because like when you have a zero prescription, they're like, oh, and I need to wear them for driving because like if I headlights on a sign is just a big like beam of light like for me, and I'm just like. And when I realized like I should stop probably leaving at 6 o'clock, it was when I was driving upstate and there was all of a sudden out of nowhere like a fucking like snowstorm, and it wasn't projected on anything. It wasn't projected where I lived or upstate. I didn't look at the map in between.
No.
And there's like ski mountains in that area. I'm an ass face. And I had a Prius at the time. Yeah, it was just really bad. And like I couldn't see for shit because it was the white with then my lights, then the signs, and all it was just big glare of light on me. And I'm like, I really should stop doing this. I sometimes can't help it. Like right now we get dark at 5, but
Yeah.
like I stopped for like the obvious, like, oh, it's July, drive at fucking 6 a.m. asshole. Like something just like reverse it a little bit, do like 5 a.m. or whatever. And yeah, I learned very young. Also, I found the restaurant, by the way. It's called Buca di Beppo. Buca di Beppo.
Okay.
And all I still can hear is Bianca saying the wrong thing, but it's called whatever I just said.
Well, she said it in the chat too. That's all right. A lot of love.
Yep.
All right. So for the decon questionnaire, in no particular order, name 3 people you talked to that you didn't think you would.
Okay. Well, the first one is thanks to Bianca, the street artist Gats.
Okay.
The one who came to our booth at the end. He's really amazing, and his art is really fucking cool, and he was super nice, like ridiculously nice. So that was fun to find like a new artist that I actually really enjoyed, versus like just meeting somebody and being like, oh, it was a great interaction. It was a great interaction, and I like their art, so it was cool little like weave of it. I didn't think I'd see Groman again this year, honestly, because I had no reason to. But that poor man. I walked over there. Did I tell you what happened?
No.
Yeah, I told you what happened with the straw, the cup game with the straw.
Oh yeah.
Where people were saying, okay, yeah. So when I went over there and saw him, that was nice to actually like see him and say hi to him and Luke, since I didn't think I would. And I don't. Oh God, this is terrible because I didn't really like see people. I don't know. This isn't fair. Come back to me in a second for this person. I have to remember who did I actually see like when I walked around on Sunday. I don't know. I plead the 5th.
Okay, well.
Oh, Ghost Box. I haven't seen fucking Gino and Michelle in forever. And like, so the last time I saw them, she was pregnant and Ollie's like 4. So I was just like, oh my God, but yeah, it's been a long time waiting to like see them. And I have been texting Michelle for like 6 months when she said that they were going like, geez, you have no idea how excited I am to see you. Because there's like, there's some people obviously like we don't see for a full year. Like, like I don't see Travis much from UBD, obviously, until con time or whatever, or Jade, like Mumbai and all that. And then like I see them once a year. So it's obviously super nice to see those people, but I hadn't seen them in like 4 years. So that was pretty fucking cool. Yeah, there we go. I'm locking it in. Final answer. Do.
Very cool. So I'm going to start with one of my with a collector that I did not think.
Collectors?
I said 3 people.
I thought you meant artists. Oh, that's not fair. Okay, fine.
So one of them was a collector that my first decon, he bought a robot from me, and I'm not going to do names on name for this dude. Anyway, nice guy, and the next year I was there, showed up to my booth again to buy another robot, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
very
that's
cool."
cute.
And like, guys, like, well, I decided I'm going to buy one toy from you every decon. Oh, cool. And so like second decon, second purchase. Fast forward 3 years to now, guy like shows up. Like I remembered his name instantaneously, which like it's hard because God, I'm bad with remembering names and faces. It was probably his accent that helped him, or helped me. And anyway, so it was like, "Hey, how's it going?" We caught up with 3 years in 5 minutes, and then he bought another toy for me, and I was like, "Oh wow!" Um, so a collector who likes to come visit at shows, that was pretty sweet. And then Tiffany from Paparazzi, I we looked at we
I'm so
looked
mad
at
I
each
didn't know
other
we could
once.
do people.
What the fuck, dude? We looked at each other at 5 Points this past June, but never exchanged words. And then we did here, which was pretty cool. And Frank Kozik, he actually he was walking around. One of my toys caught his attention. He came over, looked at it. We had a brief conversation about my decisions for what I did there. And I said, I had commented on like a couple of changes I would have wanted to make now that I'm looking at it. And he said, no, it's perfect the way it is, and left. And I was like, ooh, from a guy that has a reputation of being a grumpy dude, I had a decent.
He was a grumpy dude with me. That's why I made you a face
I
like
had
that. I
a
was like,
decent conversation that might have lasted as much as 5 minutes or as little as 2. And yeah, so
nice.
I would not have expected to be able to say in the pre-show whether or not I would actually have any conversations with Kozik. So that's pretty cool.
I'm
say,
adding 2 people, by the way.
Oh, go
You're
ahead.
done.
You 2 more shout outs. Why not?
My friend Tess, who I have been waiting to like meet in real life for so long. Yeah, it was such a pleasure to actually like give her a hug and all that stuff. She knew like Alex parodying, but she never really like did like the designer scene. Like she's done like other cons, like a lot of other cons, but this was, I think she said, her first or second time to this one. And we walked around like a little bit, and it was just super cool to like get her to come out twice, 2 days for it. And then Kavork, I don't know if you know Kavork or if you remember Kavork, but he is, I should add Tiffany too, because I met Tiffany in 2019, and that's been bitches. Paparazzi, as you know. And Kavork is like the MVP of MVPs. And like every year, he's just like always ready to like give you or help and do something. I feel like I should just be doing this for like an hour, because then there was like my friend Chris, the one who got us the taco bowls and the burritos and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
And like we had a lot of good people.
Oh yeah, big thanks for that food run.
Like, that was my friend
love
Chris.
And appreciation. What?
And
yeah, whoever made
that was my friend Chris. And then there was Lewis, who got us coffee. So it's like I don't really know how to like do this list right now, man. Not you though, for my fucking Dr. Pepper.
Can's over there.
You're such a mean.
All right, so we'll move on. All right, now we got it to the event. We enjoyed food, drink, got to talk to people. 3 things you wish you brought that you didn't.
So the thing is, something I needed to bring, I couldn't because of the fucking laws.
Okay.
So
But California suits
like I needed a
fits the
gloss
bill, right?
or like a varnish, like a spray.
Oh,
Sure. I needed like
I
a
see.
spray varnish. So it was like, I needed something like that. Something else. I wish I brought my Dremel and snacks.
And what?
Snacks.
The snacks. There you go. Very important. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, let's see. I wish I brought a puppy.
I wish
No,
you
neither one of my dogs would have
did.
been very welcome there. But yeah, no, I wish I was able to have finished a few more toys. Like, just that's my obsessive nature, Like, I had stopped.
Yeah.
On my time doing stuff, I had very much said like, this is the day you stop, so you can varnish everything, so you can transport them well. And so, like, as that time was ticking down, I kept like bracketing things so I could have finished things instead. So I could have like 10 finished things as opposed to 27 unfinished things. So I wish I had brought more smaller things. Bubble wrap. I wish I'd brought more because I ended up having to to go buy some in Vegas, and it was like, and yes,
Did you?
no, yeah. Anyway, so like it was more along the lines of, yeah, I wish I had brought more bubble wrap and let's see, more light displays. I would have liked to have had, in retrospect, one more black light display. And now
Yeah, I should have brought a black light thing so I didn't keep saying, run over to Rick's box and stick it on
yeah, so like whatever, it made it that forced interaction, that's fine. I just like, I had two little ones. Um, I wish I had more because of the I underestimated how much space I had. Plus, I also want to get a new table. I really like Angel's Red Guardians tablecloth, and I'm like, I need to invest in a full size tablecloth too. So, oh yeah, a sign would have been handy for you too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna get into that being just because I was like, that's a whole different like animal that that was a whole different game. That was a different beast. That was a whole box of stuff instead of like three simple things. That would have had to been like everything,
Right. Well,
everything imaginable to market yourself.
right. And now I have some other fun ideas because like conversations that I was having with you and Bean while we were there. Our layout was weird because of the way it was set up. Because like it took me 2 days to get used to it because like the wall was not as wide as the table was, so I kept like wanting to look around at each other's corner, just checking like
Yeah.
my periphery. So it was a little weird and took some time to get up, but that was probably like the weirdest part of it. All right. Um, so there's my decon review questionnaire. Anything you want to add to that? I kept it short and sweet because I was like, we can
For
talk about this.
questions,
Yeah,
or
like
it's like
things you wish you
stuff.
brought, people you didn't think you'd talk to, best thing to take
Um,
care of yourself to drink, best thing to take care of yourself to eat. Those were my questions.
so I highly suggest everyone uses ICAM for conventions, and I will always say that until the day I die. Um, I wish I knew a better way to take care of like my foot and my knee from hurting so easy. Because like even the chair, like
A better chair.
no bueno. It does no good. Yeah, maybe like a cushion or something. Like something that can like um put in, or like a roller or something that can like fill in the lumbar part that's like always gapped out. Um, maybe bring a change of clothes because I would always
Oh,
like
from
feel
the
like
event to
no, like
wherever.
Yeah, because like I would always feel like I would like when we go back to our hotel, which was great and smart to do because we needed to rest and stuff. But I would always feel like midday, I was just like kind of like ugh, like kind of just gross, and even changing my shirt would have probably felt nice to do like midday, like run to the bathroom and change out my shirt. Even like it's not like you get dirty or anything, but you just kind of feel kind of like bleh,
Yeah,
after you're around so many people like
you
that.
have the air of 10,000 people on top of you.
Yeah, and maybe sanitizer at the table because after a
Okay.
while I started feeling kind of like ooh. Oh, and paper towels because as we know I like basically
Yeah,
punched my coffee over at some point.
I wish I brought some more like things to wipe my phone or iPad with because people were signing that. It's like,
Little things like that.
yeah. But I
Things you
managed to
don't
not
think
get
of until
COVID
like
at the event.
after. Neither did I. I just got
So
the
like
drippies.
I had tons of people touch my phone to sign it and nobody got COVID. So like I'm not
Well,
saying
that's
I
good. That
didn't
means that
clean
you
my
didn't.
phone. I just didn't clean it as often as I should have. But
Well, that's good that no one got COVID,
most of
right?
the people didn't want to sign a receipt or just said, no, like you don't have to send me a receipt. But there were some I needed signatures for. But like, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm actually gonna write that down right now. Um, phone,
Paper towels and Lysol wipes.
I'm just writing phone cleaner.
Can you send me this list by the way? Because I'm going to Creatives in a week and I'm going to forget the same
Oh
thing
yeah,
that I'm
yeah, yeah.
telling you
Sure,
right
sure.
now.
Okay, phone cleaner, paper towels. That's cool. Yeah, good luck at that event.
And I actually have the option to drive this time to like
That is a
I
nice
get to
touch to get on.
drive in. And I have an Airbnb. Lost and I are sharing an Airbnb, so like I don't have to drive back and forth because like there's an event the next day for Plastic Pizza, and like as much as I do live close. I do. I live literally right now. If I GPS it, it would tell me it's 40 minutes, but
Around the
that is
corner.
a lie. That is a lie. Um, anyone who knows New York traffic knows that that's bullshit. If I was to leave after Creative to go home, that would take me like 2 hours, and then if I was to go to the pizza event the next day, like I just don't want to. I just don't want to. So for once, I'm being smart, and I'm taking a suitcase, and I'm taking a car, and I got to see the puppy.
That's the tax for coming into my studio while I'm broadcasting. She gets to be on TV on the show.
Yeah. And then the next day, he's actually like staying with his cousins, like in Connecticut, but like a little bit further up. But the like one of the best burger places in the fucking country is like next, like the town over from where he's staying. And I was like, I am driving you to your cousin's house. We are getting that fucking cheeseburger. I was like, I don't care if it's an extra hour from me, so it's 2 hours away going north. We are driving that thing.
All right.
It'll take us 2 hours to get there, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, we've done that.
Like this place has its own Wikipedia, and it uses its same sideways like broil grill thing from 1898, and their bread toaster thing is from like 1925.
All right. I'm gonna steer the ship a little. All right, so we've had
yes, please, because now I'm hungry.
All right, so we're 2 weeks away from removed from Designer Con. What have you done lately? But we also have this also gets to be like, aha, our November's color of the month showing off too. So that's my life hack for right now.
I've dragged ass because I got home and then I had like 3 doctors, and then I had like what else happened? I had like Thanksgiving to cook for human beings and everything and their mother, and I said, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm doing my shit." But I obviously have creatives coming, so I'm done with a bunch of things that are going there. I primed some bullies and like to actually paint on because I'm also doing the light show, the one that Reggie's doing with Benny. So I'm painting some of the butterflies to look like the painting that I did over the summer that like is UV and all that. So kind of matches the cupcake I did. What am I looking for? Oh, so but I also wanted to have some like other painted butterflies. So I figure like there was like basically a few casts left. My mold didn't break yet. It just kind of started getting like, as I like to call them, the stretch marks, like when the silicone gets kind of like dry and it starts to get like stretch marks in it. But I sanded this motherfucker to pieces and I've buffed it out, and it is like somehow miraculously like great. So I got our color of the month out, and I started on this side doing, like, you can't even see it. I started doing the lines on it to paint it up like a monarch. I had to give it some tooth because it doesn't take like pens or pencils or anything like that can sketch on it very well. Like the resin is just too slick. I guess it's also not porous enough, like to pick it up. So I had to like give it. It's not like fully sanded down, but I needed to get at least one more before I finally gave up on it. And I did our color, so I can get the monarch out, and I have to find some charity to donate it to because I want this to go to like conserving the monarchs. Since I've like raised them and all that, and I've reared them before.
That's cool.
And then I have to figure out a way to do like I didn't make this, but I have to figure out a way to like sell them at Creatives. But JFO sent me a bunch of my balls.
Oh.
I've been just talking to JFO about like, oh, thanks for the balls, like just to be really weird about it. So like he sent me a bunch of them, and I need to figure out some kind of like cool way to do that since I don't have obviously a Castle Grayskull. And
just
like
a mystery box.
Oh, that's true.
You could always take a cube box that's big enough to wedge your hand in and wrap it up like a Christmas gift. And...
all I can think of is the SNL skit "Dick in a Box" when you say that. And then, do you remember last year before, like, I was going through like that difficult period? I started doing like the Christmas cookies and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I started making more of them. So if you still want the cookie mold, I made a few.
Okay. Cool.
I'll send it to you. But I took apart the one from last year because it was like it was stupid how I had it sitting. Like it was in a rounded shot glass, so it just kept doing like wah, 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 wah. So I got the flat shot glasses.
Oh.
And I painted out like a chocolate chip. I painted out a little ginger guy. I painted a little Christmas tree cookie with the white frosting. And then I'm going to do a peppermint. Oh, Jesus, as I drop it. A peppermint, a candy cane, and like a toasted marshmallow. And I'll have the milk spilling out.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like spilled milk. So that'll be at Creatives Con too. I think I'll have like 3 of those or something. And then one at Unwrapped, the clutter show.
Oh, yeah. I sent my stuff out today.
I wish that we could see. Okay, well next week once you figure out how to share the screen, I'll do it. Because I have a picture of my I revamped. Do you remember the cookie cat I did last year of Lay Tits Now? Let it snow for 800, Alex. And then I got fucking banned on Facebook for that. Do you remember that? I got banned on Facebook for 30 days because I said I'll take Lay Tits Now for 800, Alex. And it cited me for pornography. That was when I was getting bans like every 5 days for like blinking.
Well, there's a life hack for that, and I'll share that with you in a minute.
Please, if it's shutting the fuck up and pausing before you look before you press enter. Trust me, I've learned. But
well, that's true too.
I revamped it and I gave it like some cuter eyes. I gave it like cool highlights and shading and stuff like that, and just like touched it up like to make it just different, even though it looks like it has the same idea, but it looks like it's fresh and just really pretty and meant for this show versus the, I don't know, basic. It has more nuance to it. There we go. There's more nuance to it than it did last year.
It's more customized for the show it's going to.
Yeah. It's more in the spirit of it's meant to be there.
There you go.
It's a clutter piece. It's going home. I hate that it does that though. This camera thing.
That onus is on you. All right. Well, I've painted a lot of shit between now and then. Well, since last week's show, but I'm gonna just share one of my pup-ups, the Red Panda version, which is very orange because of the color.
Yeah, show me.
So like, we all saw these at DCon, and yeah, I love. Apparently, I like painting red pandas, and yeah, and I think that's an adorable creature, and I think my platform worked well on it. So yeah, we got this dude. I have uploaded a bunch of a bunch of stuff onto my store. Old stock, new stock, blah blah blah. It's all good.
Like Cthulhu's gone. Our venture. Rick and I have gone round trip.
Yeah, from Nicole muling Cthulhu last year to me painting it this summer to selling it right after DCon. That went full circle. And from Nicole also pre-purchasing Man-Thing for me. And then it showed up in November or August for it to find a home at DCon. It was pretty impressive or pretty pleasing. Do you want to? I'm going to share
our journey's over.
Yeah, journey's over on that. A new journey begins on something else, I'm sure. All right, so before we go any further, there's two things to discuss, and that'll be I don't want to call it a technique of the week, but I got some technique from DCon that I want to share, and some studio hack, and Nicole still gets to spin her wheel. Do you want to spin the wheel or just talk?
No, we always end like that.
Okay. All right. So at DCon, because we didn't order so in being a convoyer now, I've paid for electricity at every event I go to. And the first event, electricity was more expensive than I would have liked. And then at DCon, it was colossal. And on our way back from setup, Alicia had recommended that I should just get a battery powered generator. And so we ended up dissecting Anaheim to find that we could not actually get one locally, because I would have been happy to go to Walmart to go buy one, but Amazon allowed me to overnight one, and which was really neat because by let's say 9 o'clock Thursday. Yeah. So I ordered overnight to my.
I thought your ass went to Lowe's.
No, seriously. We overnighted it, and it was like it showed up on Friday. and the window of delivery time was 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. And it got, and I had, before we went to bed, I gave my card to the night manager who was supposed to be there till like 9 in the morning. And I said, look, I have to be at the convention center by 9. If this should show up afterwards, please give me a call or just leave a note for whoever's going to replace you. And he said, no problem. 7:30 rolls around and it's already marked as it was delivered at 6 o'clock in the morning. So like my turn, I don't know where the hell they found this generator because like we couldn't find it online. Sure enough though, and this thing powered both my case, powered both my my displays and my phone all day long and didn't and never ran out of juice. And I was like, not like my LEDs take a lot of energy, but like, okay, I don't know anything about electricity in terms except for what you do and do not put into the plug into the wall. And yeah, so I was like, I'll never buy electricity again. I will be carrying around a little tiny generator that's the size of a child's lunchbox.
We gotta talk about how much that cost off camera.
Oh yeah, sure. But so let's go this way. After paying for two conventions, it's paid for itself. After paying for electricity for 2 conventions, it's paid for itself. If I wanted to be super fancy and prepared for the apocalypse, I would spend like a couple $100 on the solar panel. So, all right. So I wanted to share say a little bit of safety in terms of things that had to get done this week. So my airbrush compressor has been slowly dying, and I've now wanted to replace the part on it that has been dying. It's the moisture trap. I think I threw it away downstairs. But anyway, like it looked like an easy enough solution. Unscrew it or order a new one. Unscrew the old one, put the new one on. Make sure you have the right fitting to connect with your hose because most times things like this, after you get your original factory one, you always have to get an aftermarket adapter, and this was no different. So my months ago, the pressure, the pressure gauge on the airbrush didn't work anymore to control the flow of air coming out of the gun. But to me, that's no problem because I had the airbrush itself had also a pressure control, and the quick disconnect also had a pressure guide. So no problem. I could control it 2 other ways. Well, I decided to replace it and got the new one, which would have fit in just fine onto the compressor. The fitting that I needed to make the moisture trap connect with the hose didn't work. Guy at the hardware store could not help me.
Can they ever though?
So our local big box franchise that is not Home Depot or Lowe's, just like whatever regional one we have, that's where I went to first because it is close to me. And then on my way today to go find an actual part, I was like, oh, let's go to an auto shop or an auto repair store, see if they have, because they sell compressors and stuff. They've got to have it. No, they recommended the very locally owned Ace Hardware that I didn't want to go to.
Oh,
so then on the way going to Ace, which was, so I had like 3 places in equal distance from me, two auto facilities and Ace Hardware. The second auto facility and it also said go to Ace. So I did. And I miraculously found the part, long story made short. And so then I go home and I take the new, and I had both moisture traps with me to show the guy, this is what I need. This is what I need to connect with. And the guy at Ace actually was like, brought out the gauge to measure everything. It was pretty nice. So I get home, I connect the new thing, and it doesn't work. All right. Let's back up. 2 safety things. If you're ever going to work on a compressor, make sure you bleed it first, which I did. All right, just make sure it has no air in it whatsoever and it's not pressurized anymore. Very important. Hey, Jason. Second, with any power tool, make sure it's fucking unplugged, which again, done in advance. But
Yeah.
the compressor thing, I don't work on compressors very often. I was like, oh, that red plug that drains the tank, I probably should pull that before I start fucking around with it. So done. So what I didn't do, and this is what turned it from a $20 fix to a much bigger, is when I was unscrewing this moisture trap that was very much wedged on thanks to the original factory settings, I did not reinforce or support the connector that was welded to the tank, and I broke the weld there. So that makes this a very it's the onus is on me. Right, I accept the idea. Normally I do not like watching YouTubers be like, well, this is how I failed, and I didn't know, and this is true. I did not think about this idea, so I did not support it, and I had all the tools right there, and I just did not think about it, because part of me said, how hard is it going to be screwed in where I can't do this? And clearly it was hard enough. So yeah. Cheap $20 fix became way more expensive. Fucking sucks.
I'm guilty of fucking things up and breaking things.
Right. But I was like, all right, time is money now. And I can so I fucked around and found out. And somewhat disappointed in that. So, before we end on a low note, Nicole gets to bring us up with a
on a low note.
I end on a low note. Nicole's going to bring us on up to a high note and find us a flashy color that we're going to paint something to in the next 2 weeks.
I'm so sad right now for you.
Oh, it annoys the shit out of me.
All you did was tell me part of this. It's like, and now I hear the whole thing, and I'm like, no,
right.
it sounds so much worse.
Yeah. Come on, part of the idea of storytelling is to get your reaction too. So I'm not going to tell you the whole thing.
That's fair.
This is what's going to happen, though. I tell that story because of my stupidity on not reinforcing that, and then this is what happens.
That's fair. You know who taught me a lot about pressure pot safety? Miss Bianca Bean Largent in here.
There you go.
Which is why I'm upgrading my pressure pot from the casual Cavalier. I got it at Harbor Freight, so I'm gonna fuck around and find out. Because I guess, the fail-safe rate on that is higher. And after I told my stepdad that, he said, "Please do not have a bomb in my house. Thank you."
There you
go. And honestly, for the extra $100, why not?
Okay, that's cool.
So, should we say the giveaway that idea I had? And now that I said it, we should probably say it since I said it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So in our Facebook, and if you don't have Facebook, you could post it on Instagram and tag our account. I had to think about what the fuck I was trying to say. Tag our account, Talk About Paint Club. We're gonna do a giveaway of a slap pack of some Rick stickers and some Mad Hatcher stickers. If you do the color of the month with Pantone's color of the year. Not together. It doesn't have to be together. Like 2 separate pieces. You could do 2 separate pieces, or it could be.
So you could do Pantone's. We're
not going to be.
Or whatever the hell we spin. Okay.
Yeah.
What are we spinning?
No, both. Both. You have to do both.
You have to do both.
Not or.
And.
No, yeah, both. And. So it could be the same piece, or it could be 2 separate pieces.
Okay.
You can marry Paint Club with Pantone, or you can divorce them. I don't
know. Okay.
Okay, I'm holding it flat this time so I don't go, oh fuck, like I usually do. And I know it's always robot.
Robot.
We already did this
That's where
color. I
like
can't.
color of the month is gonna have like that captcha, like I am not a robot.
Okay, hold on. Where's the side? Where's the side? Light blue topaz. I hate the
Light
names
blue
of these things.
topaz. What the
It
fuck?
looks like a I don't know how to yeah, and that
I'm
doesn't
on
help
it.
anything. This thing.
Oh, wild.
It's like a baby powder cornflower blue kind of vibe.
Back in my day, they would have called that colonial blue.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't really know how to, because okay, I spun it twice. I will not lie, but that's because it gave us tanzanite again. So I was like, no, I can't.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
just did tanzanite.
No, I'd call that, yeah, like a very light blue gray. More blue than
Yeah,
gray, but light.
we haven't
That's
had that
pretty cool.
yet. We had like purples that are light like that, but not a blue
Yeah,
yet.
no, that's a good looking color.
Which this actually was color of the year a few years ago, because my Facebook reminded me of how excited I got when it was a light blue color, because Sephora always does a whole collection of like color of the year for like their makeup and stuff that comes out. And I was like, oh, I can't wait. It's going to be blue. And I was, whatever year that was, my Facebook reminded me how excited I was to run to my Sephora and give them all of my money for makeup I probably never wore.
All right. And before we
now
leave,
I wonder
I
what
want to,
magenta is.
yeah, no, like that and magenta would look pretty good together too.
It
Before we leave
would.
tonight, I would like to do like, I don't know, a PSA, but like I met so many people at DCon, and just singling out 3 people tonight is like a drop in the bucket of how many people I met. And a lot of them for the very first time, which is like, that's so overwhelming for like for me, probably for a lot of people too. So like there's no insult to be like, well, I didn't know this, I didn't mention this person. That's true. I didn't mention 1,000 people tonight. And it's just
Yeah.
like no insult whatsoever intended, because like holy shit, there's a lot of people. Like, so yeah, there you go. There's a lot of people. Way
It was a lot.
All right. So that being said, like we've run our over an hour. I hope everybody I hope.
I like that it has the time on this too.
Does it?
Yeah, it's on top. Live, 1 hour.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, that's very cool too. So yeah, so I hope that this new system is going to work better in the end. Like I did discover they had dew colors. Okay, I did discover one flaw that I don't care for, but it's just like because I'm clumsy. But other than that, I think that the new system, provided we can fix the screen share thing, is potentially the way to go. So I would like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, or whenever you decide to watch the replay on YouTube. Thank you. Yeah. So Nicole, tell all these wonderful people.
You have until January to do the homework, by the way.
There you go.
We'll post it.
Hey, this is cool. Get to edit. Boom, look at that. You can find me over at Rick Stroh on Instagram. How do you like that? We're using the tools as on the fly.
How do you do that?
Nicole, tell everybody where they can find you on the Instagram.
Wait, hold on.
Hey, thanks, Bean.
Wait. Wait, did I fix it?
There you go.
Yeah, that.
Mad Hatters.
The dot Mad Hatters. That's
Alright.
so smart. Why we could have done that in Zoom. Sorry. Anyways,
I don't know. All right. So I'm
Who
Rick
cares?
Stro on Instagram, RICSTROH. And yeah, let's see. What do we number 2 rule? Don't fucking scratch it. Have a
number 3
have a
be
good
don't
night,
blow it up.
everybody. Bye, Nicole.
Bye.
Let's see. In stream.